My food arrived completely cold, twice at the same restaurant. And both times, I just said, it's fine, and ate it anyway, silently suffering through a cold meal.
That is the most common mistake English learners make, staying silent instead of complaining politely.
Today, we are going to fix that. We are going to teach you exactly how to complain in English, politely, clearly, and effectively, without ever sounding rude.
By the end of this episode, you will get your problem solved instead of quietly suffering through cold food.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I am here with Emma, and today we are going to talk about complaining politely in English.
Hello, everyone. I am very happy to be here today. Let's start our conversation.
Emma, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, thank you, Daniel. Although this topic is very personal for me.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because I come from a culture where complaining directly can feel very uncomfortable. I used to just accept bad service silently.
That is such a common experience. Many cultures value politeness over directness.
Exactly. But I learned that in English-speaking countries, there is a way to complain that is both polite and effective.
Right. You do not have to choose between being nice and getting your problem solved.
That realization changed how I handled these situations completely.
This episode connects perfectly with last week's apology episode. Complaining and apologizing are really two sides of the same skill, clear communication.
Exactly. And Daniel has a story about the cold food situation that got much more interesting.
It certainly did. Stay with us for that. So here is what we have for you today.
By the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to complain about bad service, wrong orders, faulty products, and unfair situations, all while staying polite.
We will teach you the exact structure and phrases that get results without sounding aggressive or rude.
And Daniel will tell us what actually happened the third time his food arrived cold.
Third time is where things get interesting. Stay with us.
Let's begin.
Emma, why do you think complaining feels so difficult for English learners specifically?
I think there are two fears. First, sounding rude by accident. Second, not having the right words when you are already frustrated.
That combination is very difficult. Frustration makes clear thinking harder, and then the language barrier adds more pressure.
Exactly. But here's the good news. Polite complaining in English follows a very reliable pattern, almost like a formula.
Tell us about that pattern.
It usually starts with a soft opener, then states the problem clearly, then states what you would like to happen.
Soft opener, problem, desired outcome. Let's break each one down.
A soft opener reduces tension immediately. Something like, I'm sorry to bother you, but, or, excuse me, I hate to complain, but.
These phrases signal that you are not trying to attack anyone. You simply have an issue that needs solving.
Exactly. It changes the entire tone of the conversation from the very first words.
What comes after the soft opener?
Stating the problem clearly and factually, without emotional language.
For example, instead of, this food is disgusting, you would say, this food seems to have arrived cold.
Notice the difference. One sounds like an attack, the other sounds like a factual observation.
That distinction is so important. Seems to have softens it even further.
Right. It leaves room for the other person to fix the situation without feeling personally blamed.
And the third part, the desired outcome?
This is where you say clearly what you want. Would it be possible to have this reheated? Or could I please get a replacement?
Being specific about the solution makes it much easier for the other person to help you.
Absolutely. Vague complaints without a clear ask often go nowhere.
What if the first response does not solve your problem?
This is where many people give up too quickly. You can politely escalate.
What does that sound like?
Something like, I understand, but this is actually the second time this has happened. Could I speak with a manager, please?
Calm, factual, and moving the conversation forward without anger.
Exactly. Staying calm is actually your biggest advantage in these situations.
Why is that?
Because staff are trained to help calm, reasonable customers much faster than angry ones. Anger often makes people defensive.
That is such an important insight. Politeness is not weakness, it is strategy.
Exactly the mindset shift that changed how I handle these situations. What about complaining in writing, like an email to a company? Written complaints follow a similar structure, but slightly more formal. State the issue, give relevant details like dates or order numbers, and state what resolution you are hoping for.
For example,
I am writing to raise a concern about my recent order. It arrived 3 days late and the packaging was damaged. I would appreciate a replacement or a refund.
Clear, factual, specific request, perfect structure for written complaints.
And always end politely. Thank you for your understanding. Or I look forward to your response.
Even when complaining, ending warmly leaves the door open for a good resolution. Actually, here is something interesting about complaints and customer service.
Oh, tell us.
Did you know that studies show customers who complain calmly and specifically are significantly more likely to receive compensation than those who complain angrily?
Really? Being calm actually gets better results?
Right. Staff are more motivated to help someone who is reasonable because it feels collaborative rather than confrontational.
So the polite approach is not just nicer, it is more effective too?
Exactly. Kindness and effectiveness are not opposites in this situation. They work together.
That is such valuable information. Okay, let's move to our English lesson.
Perfect. Let's cover the exact vocabulary and phrases for complaining politely in English.
Let's start with soft openers. I'm sorry to bother you, but... Excuse me, I hate to complain, but... This might be a small thing, but...
These phrases immediately signal politeness before you even state the problem.
Now for stating the problem factually. This seems to be... I noticed that there appears to be an issue with.
For example, I noticed that the total on my bill does not match the menu price.
Calm, factual, no blame attached yet.
Now for stating what you want. Would it be possible to... Could I please... I was wondering if you could.
For example, would it be possible to get this corrected? Or could I please speak with someone about this?
Now let's cover phrases for escalating politely if needed. I understand, but this is actually the second time. I would really appreciate it if...
Or, is there anyone else who might be able to help with this?
This phrase moves things forward without directly criticizing the person you are speaking with.
Very useful when the first person cannot solve your problem themselves.
Let's also cover vocabulary specific to common complaint situations. In a restaurant, this isn't quite what I ordered. Or, this seems undercooked.
In a shop, this item is faulty. Or, this doesn't match the description online.
At a hotel, the room isn't quite as described. Or, there seems to be an issue with the heating.
Notice the pattern? Seems, quite, isn't quite. These softening words appear constantly in polite complaints.
They are doing a lot of work to keep the tone gentle while still being clear about the problem.
Now, let's cover a useful grammar point. We often use modal verbs like would and could to sound more polite when complaining.
For example, could you look into this, please? Sounds much softer than look into this.
Or, would you mind checking this again? Instead of check this again.
These modal verbs add a layer of politeness without changing the actual meaning of your request.
Very important structure for anyone wanting to sound naturally polite in English.
One more useful phrase for closing a complaint conversation politely. I appreciate your help with this.
Even in a difficult situation, ending with appreciation leaves things on a positive note. Daniel, I want to ask our listeners something.
Of course, go ahead.
Everyone, have you ever had to complain about something in English? How did it go?
Write it in the comments below. Tell us your situation.
For example, I complained about a delayed delivery and got a full refund by staying calm.
We would love to hear your real experiences and what worked for you.
And if this episode is useful, please like it and subscribe to our channel.
Now, Daniel, tell us what happened the third time your food arrived cold.
The story we have all been waiting for.
So this was the third time at the same restaurant. Same dish, cold again.
Third time. At this point, most people would just stop going there.
I almost did, but I decided to actually use everything I now knew about polite complaining.
What did you say?
I called the waiter over calmly and said, "I'm sorry to bother you, but I noticed this has arrived cold again. This is actually the third time this has happened with this dish."
Soft opener, factual statement, relevant history. Perfect structure.
The waiter looked genuinely surprised and apologized immediately. He said he would speak with the kitchen.
What happened next?
A few minutes later, the manager came over personally. She apologized sincerely and said there had been an ongoing issue with that particular dish's preparation station.
So your calm complaint actually revealed a real problem.
Exactly. She replaced my meal completely free, added a dessert, and thanked me for mentioning it calmly instead of just leaving upset and never returning.
That is such a wonderful outcome. And it never would have happened with silent suffering.
Never. And she specifically said, so many customers just quietly leave frustrated and we never even know there is a problem.
That is such an important insight. Staying silent does not help anyone. Not you, and not the business trying to improve.
Exactly. My polite complaint actually helped them fix a real kitchen problem for future customers too.
From oops, it's fine, to solving an actual restaurant problem. That is real growth.
It only took 3 cold meals to learn the lesson.
Better late than never.
Well, everyone, what a useful episode today.
We learned the 3-part structure: soft opener, factual problem, desired outcome.
We learned phrases for escalating politely and vocabulary for restaurants, shops, and hotels.
And we learned that staying calm actually gets you better results than staying silent or getting angry.
Now, before we go, in our next episode, we are going to talk about something everyone deals with: renting an apartment in English.
Oh, such a practical topic. How do you talk to a landlord? How do you report a problem in your apartment?
What phrases do you need for viewing a property, signing a lease, or reporting something broken?
Subscribe now so you do not miss episode 18.
See you there.
Today was so useful, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. And thank you, everyone, for listening to episode 17.
Practice the structure today: soft opener, factual problem, desired outcome.
And remember the phrases. I noticed that. Would it be possible to? I appreciate your help with this.
Stay calm, stay polite, and you will get much better results.
And check your food before accepting it 3 times in a row.
Words of wisdom from personal experience. See you in episode 18, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care and keep learning English every day.
Bye-bye.